Damn Alphas? This is your boy Alphas. I'm looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy, and today we got a serious topic we want to talk about. It's not serious, but the subject matter of the topic is serious. If you don't know, we have an accident that happened on the field with a guy named Damar Hamlin from the Buffalo Bills, the safety. He had a freak accident on the field. We're not quite sure what happened yet as of the time of me recording, but something happened. He collapsed on the field. They had to resuscitate him. The game got postponed. It was sad. It was one of those rare occasions in football is where all the life gets sucked out of the thing because a life was on the line. And at the end of the day, life is far more important than any sport. And maybe that didn't reach a certain person. Skip Bayless made a tweet. Yes, we are talking about Skip Bayless on the media channel and a tweet. It's insane. You usually don't think that would be a big deal. Like, oh, Skip Bayless tweets a lot of silly things. But this thing had a mind of its own. It went on its own rant. It went out and created this problem in which we usually don't see. It pontificated a bunch of feelings. I saw tweets out here saying that, oh, this is how people see us as on the football field and athletes. They're just entertainment and the source of this, and it dehumanizes the athlete. That's why I notice a lot of people like to say they don't like you called beast or any of those things, even though in football we use those terms because you want to be like more of a savage animal or something like that. You want to be known as an intimidation factor. But this often comes at that point. And Skip tweeted something that kind of reiterated that. But I want to do something a little different than just bash Skip Bayless because I want to understand why this tweet was bad, because it was a bad tweet. But if the intent was actually bad. So we're going to go into the tweet. The tweet was the second one. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. Okay. Nothing wrong with that statement. It is considered. They did consider it. It's a factual statement. Nothing wrong with that part. Let's go to the end. Let's skip this part because this is the part that gets interesting in the tweet. A game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. You might say it could be issues with this part of the tweet, but it's actually not. There's not really that many issues with this part of the tweet either. Why? Because it just, again, stating a fact, right? It is a big game, but it seemed like it's irrelevant. This massive #1 seed changing game seems irrelevant. And that's rare in sports that you can actually say something that's for a #1 season relevant. But like I said, if life is involved, it is indeed irrelevant. So another factual statement. But the problem is that middle. But how this late in the season? And I want to speak on two words, but how? But how can conceptually create this image of you not being aware, you not being present of mind to understand that your next statement, which is a fact, could be perceived. Because I know you listen to Trevor, you tell me you're making no sense. How does but how this late in the season has to do anything? When you connect it with the next season, the next words, I mean, but how this late in the season, a game of this magnitude, crucial to the regular season. But how? But how could they postpone this game? It's how it can be perceived, right? But how can they do this? It's too important. But how? If you take this in it, let's read it if you take that out. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. A game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Fair tweet. Fair tweet. Wouldn't be mad at it. Nothing but facts. It seems irrelevant. But when you add, now let's read it out loud and listen when you say it out loud with the word. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season? A game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Listening to that out loud sounds very different than the first sentence. I want to know how do y'all feel in the comments? Let me know in the comments. How did that make you feel? That phrase changed the whole meaning to so many people of the word. Now, he did later apologize, saying nothing is more important than the young man's health. That was the point of my last tweet. I'm sorry that it was misunderstood, but his health is all that matters. Again, everything else is irrelevant, which goes back to his last point, which we can get into. Maybe it was misconceived because wording. I pray for him and he will continue to, and will continue to. Again, everything seems so relevant in all of that words, but how? That one word, them 2 words in a sentence, it changed literally the whole meaning of everything. That is incredible to me, how the English language works. I can't for sure saying that he rather than played football than care about my guy Damar Hamlin's health. I can't say for sure, but it comes off so inappropriate. Fire Skip Bayless. Did you see Skip? Fire Skip Bayless is sort of trending. You see Skip is trending. You see those things trending. And you see even the fire Skip Bayless. So I'm struggling because at face value, the sentence itself is very damaging to your reputation or your organization or anybody. Because how can you have this human being covering a sport when he doesn't see them as human beings and rather than entertain him? Which I can also see him being a wordy person, former journalist, and saying words and trying to be clever in how he said, and not really like thinking of it being clever, but just naturally being clever and using, but how this late of a season, trying to. And what I mean by that, let me explain a little more. What I mean by that, as a journalist, you learn to write, right? I did some journalism for a website. You learn how to write. You do, it's certain techniques that we ain't gonna go over because we can go over those techniques later, in which you magnify words. You magnify the importance of something, right? As a journalist, that's what you do. You write things, you magnify. That's why the clickbaity titles and all that stuff happen, because people want you to get view. So doing that for years, probably a decade or two, Skip Bayless did that. So how do you make this sentence seem more popular? You add the "but how" this late in the season. You showing how important this game is to the season and telling them it feels irrelevant, right? But in a tweet, this comes off as very, very insensitive. Trying to magnify the game to tell you how irrelevant it is ultimately backfires. It backfires on him because people didn't quite get what he was trying to say. They don't get the journalistic epithet of the situation. And I just want to go over that and let me know your thoughts, because I don't want to really give my thoughts on this yet. I'll probably talk about it on Friday's show with Friday Night Lights featuring Uniqo Williams. I want to hear more what he has to say. Did I interpret it right? Was I right? Or is he just going to give a usual apology and feel empty and not really make much difference? So I want to know your thoughts though. And I want to see how you think. Sway me. Tell me which way. Do you think Skip Bayless is an insensitive jerk? Or do you think he really meant it, but tried to like magnify, copyright basically, how to make the words seem bigger and to emphasize how big the game is and how irrelevant it is? I know we might be shooting a bell, but let me know in the comment section. Let me know how y'all do. Like and subscribe to the video. We're doing a lot more content. Hopefully not as bad as this. And I want to say this at the end, because this is last but definitely not least, the prayers to Damar Hamlin. That saddened me, and I hope he's okay. I'm recording this at night. I'm hearing that he has tubes in him, but he's living. He's got action, like he's got a pulse. So by the time this come out, I hope doesn't change. I hope everything's the same. I'm praying for you, my brother, young man. You don't never want to see a young man who living his dreams at such a young age. I think he's 24. Go through this. So prayers to him, prayers to his family, prayers to everyone. Pull through, young man. We love you. We love all y'all athletes for what y'all do. Y'all put y'all bodies on the line for us just to entertain us. And we thank you. And nobody should ever question anything about y'all because y'all warriors, y'all modern day gladiators. And I just want to tell all football players and him, because I know he got a tour drive. Go check out the tour drive. I might put it in the bio. I'll probably put the tweet in the bio at least. So go to that, support his drive, the things he's passionate about. And I want to thank y'all for putting your body on the line so I can look at this silly fantasy draft, at this silly FanDuels, at these silly like parlays, these gambling at the casinos. Just if I just want to enjoy the game, you put your bodies on the line and we see what it can happen. I want to thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Alpha out.